Hello everybody! Welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. Are you ready to learn about bad weather? That's what we're going to talk about in this lesson, Lesson 10. We're going to talk about the weather, but specifically, we're going to talk about bad weather, right? So what kinds of bad weather are there? In this lesson, we'll focus on, think about different kinds of weather, but bad weather. When we think about the weather, what are some problems that can be caused? Okay, well, first of all, we're talking about bad weather. The weather can be scary, right? Very scary. It's frightening. We are afraid of some types of bad weather. Look at these two guys. Whoa, right? They're very scared. Why? Because there is a tornado nearby. T-O-R, tornado. So T-O-R-N-A-D-O. Tornado. Tornado is when the wind moves in a circle really fast and it's really strong. These two guys, right, they're being blown away and their hats are coming off their heads, right? It's very dangerous, right? So that's a tornado. Very strong winds. What else can be scary about the weather? Of course, we can see this type of weather, right? When it storms, when there's a lot of clouds in the sky, it gets really dark, you hear a strong noise, right? And the noise is thunder. That's a U, T-H-U-N-D-E-R, thunder. That's the noise, right? And then, of course, you have these bright lights here, and that, of course, is lightning. Lightning, just two sounds. Lightning, lightning. So thunder and lightning is what we hear in a storm, right? And be careful, because, right, that's a lot of electricity coming from the sky. It's very dangerous. If you're outside and the sky gets dark and you hear thunder and you see lightning, don't hold a metal thing in your hand above your head. No, that's very dangerous. Don't hide under a tree. Don't go near a swimming pool or other types of water. Get out of the water. Go inside. You have to be careful of lightning. So this can be scary weather too. What else do we have? Oh my gosh, their faces are gone. No, I'm just kidding. That's just the graphic, okay? Of course, this looks like a mom and she's carrying her child. But look at this down here. That's what we're looking at. All of this water is everywhere. It shouldn't be there, right? So if there's too much water in an area, we say it is a flood. A flood. And we'll take a look at that word later. So this is a flood. Okay, so these are different types of weather that can be bad and scary. We have a final graphic here. Oh, my writing is on it, but yeah, it's in about the right place. We have thunder, we have lightning, and here is a tornado, right? And here is a house that got picked up, and it's flying away with the tornado. You know what this picture makes me think about? A very good story. If you get this, this is very good. The Wizard of Oz. Do you know this story? Many children know this story. It's a good story. If you don't know it, find it at your bookstore. Ask your mom or your dad about this book. Or you can go on the computer and you can find this story. It's a very good children's story. Okay? The Wizard of Oz. It's a little girl. She's in a house. A tornado comes, picks up her house, and she flies away to a very strange land. Okay, so it's a very good book. Okay, let's move on. And let's look at the words for this lesson. Let's learn the words for this lesson. The first word, what do we see here? This is an interesting picture, isn't it? We have little pieces of wood standing up, right? And we have somebody's going to push it, right? And that's going to hit that, and they're all going to fall over. So we're going to make something happen. To make something happen, we're going to cause one to hit the other and the other and the other, and I just used the word there, right? To cause, cause. So if you cause something, that means you made it happen. If you cause all of these to fall down, right, you made it happen. To cause something to happen. The tornado caused the car to fly away. Okay, so something makes another thing happen. To cause. Okay, next word. This is a type of weather, right? This little girl, right? She's in her coat, she's in her knit hat, and look, it's very strong, the wind. Weather with fast moving air. The air is moving past her very quickly. In this case, what is the weather? We say the weather is windy. Windy. It's very windy. So the wind is strong. It's windy. Okay. The next one, strong, dangerous weather. Strong, dangerous weather. Of course, we talked about tornado, but we're looking for not just tornado, but any type of weather that is dangerous or strong. We could say storm. It is a storm. So a tornado is a type of storm, but there are other types of weather. For example, it rains a lot and there's lightning and thunder. That's a storm. If it snows a lot, too much snow, your parents can't drive their car. Nobody can move. Everybody stays inside. That's a storm, a snowstorm. So some storms are very big and cause a lot of water, rain, or snow to fall down very quickly. And we call those storms. Okay, I taught you this word before. Do you remember seeing this picture before? Right? This is dangerous, bright light from storms. Okay? Dangerous, bright light from storms. We say it's lightning. Just two sounds. Lightning. Lightning. It's lightning. And of course, with lightning, I also said something else. With lightning, you also hear thunder. Right? So thunder. And then after, or actually before thunder, you see the lightning, you see the flash, and then a little bit later, you hear the thunder. So thunder and lightning, very common thing in a storm to experience. Okay, so lightning. The next word, oh my gosh, look what happened. It's terrible, right? There was a strong wind, maybe a very big storm, very strong winds. And it pushed this tree over onto this house. That's terrible. These poor people who lived there, right? To make into nothing, what did this tree do? It made the house into nothing. Well, maybe they can save it, but you could say destroy. The tree destroyed the house. Sometimes in a flood, there's a lot of water. The water will come and it might bury your car under the water, and you can't use your car anymore. Your car is destroyed, okay? So storms are very dangerous. They cause a lot of damage. Storms destroy homes, cars, many things that are destroyed in a storm. Okay, the next word. Oh, we saw this picture before, right? The people with no face. Okay, let's take a look, of course. But we're looking at the water again. A lot of water that goes onto land. So usually the water is in the river or it's in a lake. But if there's a lot of water comes from the sky in rain or as snow, then maybe that water will come onto the land and cover everywhere. And of course we say that is a flood. Now, by the way, flood can be used as a noun. For example, there is a flood. There is a flood. That's a noun. There is a flood. But flood can also be used as a verb. The river flooded over. Okay? Or you could also say, The town flooded. That means the town was covered in water. So we can use flood as a noun, there is a flood, or a verb. The river flooded over. The river got too big and it flooded the surrounding area. So we can use flood as a noun or as a verb. Okay, next one. To begin, these boys are running in a race, right? At the start of the race, right? At the start of the race, they begin. To begin means to start, okay? To start. Okay. Here we have another word. This is an interesting picture. All these pieces of wood seem to have fallen down. Maybe they made something like a tower before, but they fell down. So to make something fall down, this is a kind of a special word. It's a little bit of a difficult word. It is to topple. To topple. Pronunciation. Topple. Topple. To topple. If something falls over, especially something that's very large, very big and tall, it will fall over, it will topple. So imagine if you cut down a tree, the tree falls over, we say the tree topples over. Buildings might topple over, okay? So to topple means something very tall falls over. Whoa, he looks kind of interesting. Does he look like me? Maybe. Okay. He's a weatherman, right? Now, news that tells us the weather. News that tells us the weather. You want to know about tomorrow. Will it be sunny? Will it be windy? Is there a storm coming? So you want news that tells us the weather. What do you want to look at? You want to look at the weather report. This is the news that tells you about the weather. Okay. Here we have an object here. It's a very colorful object. They're not all like this. Maybe, I'm sure you have one of these at home. It's a tool. A tool is something we use, right? A tool we hold in our hand to keep the rain off. It's raining outside. You don't want to get wet, so you use one of these to keep the rain off. You want to stay dry, right? You don't want to get wet. You want to stay dry. You want to keep the rain off. What is it? Usan in Korean, umbrella in English. Okay? So I'm sure you have a usan. Jipe usan 있어요? I'm not sure if my Korean's that good. But do you have an umbrella at home? I'm sure you do. Okay? So umbrella. Okay. Now, in the summertime, it's really hot, isn't it? If you're in the park and you're out in the sun is hitting you. Oh, it's so hot, and you sweat. 땀 많이 해요, right? Oh, 너무 덥다, right? I'm very hot. So it's too hot in the sun. But you don't want to go inside a building. You want to enjoy the park. So maybe you go under a tree, or maybe there's an umbrella, a big umbrella. So you want to go to an outside place with no sun. Like these ducks are smart, right? They're not in the sunlight. They went in the dark area under the tree, a place with no sun. What is this dark area? It's a little cooler there, right? We say it's the shade. So if you're outside, you're in a park, or you're playing soccer, and the sun is too strong, maybe you want to go in the shade. Go in the shade. In the shade. Because the shade is cooler than in the sun. You don't have the sun hitting you directly. So it's a little cooler in the shade. It's a little cooler in the shade. Okay. The next word, to move air. Now we talked about windy, right? This picture looks like it's windy, but windy is an adjective. It is windy, right? It is windy outside. That's an adjective. But we're looking for a verb here, to move air. Why is it windy? What is the action? What's happening? Well, we're looking for the verb blow. When when the wind blows, right, then the air moves. We can blow, right? You can put your hand in front of your mouth. You can feel the air moving. I am blowing, right? Blow, blew, blown. This is an irregular verb, so it changes according to how we use it. When we use it in now, to blow, that means right now. Blew, past tense. Blown, past participle. Have blown, right? Blow, blew, blown. Blow, blew, blown. So in English, I'm sorry, some verbs you have to know the different forms when you use them in different time periods. Okay, so blow. Okay, now we've learned all the words. Let's practice. How well do you remember those words, right? So we're going to do our exercise, our word exercise. We're going to match the words with their definitions. Okay, so how well do you remember these words? Let's review the words first, though. The first word is cause. Cause. Second word, storm. Storm. Next word, lightning. Lightning. Okay, two sounds there. Lightning. Windy. W sound. Windy. Next word, flood. Flood. Maybe 조금 힘들어, right, to say, because we have F and we have L. So f, and l. Flood. Put them together. Flood. Next one, destroy. Destroy. Okay, so let's put these words with their correct definitions. Number one, strong, dangerous weather. Weather that is strong and dangerous. Remember, when I explained this, I talked about it might rain a lot or it might snow a lot. A lot of rain, a lot of snow. What word is it? We say that it is a storm, a storm. And you can say rainstorm or snowstorm. It's just strong, dangerous weather. A lot of rain comes down, a lot of snow comes down. The wind is very strong. Sometimes there's a tornado, right? Okay, number two, dangerous bright light from storms. So it's not just the light, it's electricity, right? Right? You don't want to get hit by lightning. It's very dangerous. So dangerous, bright light from storms. I just said it. It's lightning. Lightning. Okay. Number three, to make into nothing. So if you have something and another thing comes along and makes that something into nothing. It's no good anymore. You can't use it. What is the verb? It is destroy. To destroy. Okay, let's move on to number four. Weather with fast moving air. So weather with fast moving air. If you're outside and the air is moving very fast by you, what do we say? It is windy. It's windy outside, fast moving air. And that, of course, is windy. Number five, to make happen. So if you make something happen, right? You start the action and something happens from that. What did you do? You caused it to happen. To cause something to happen. To cause an event to happen. To cause, to make, to happen. Number six, a lot of water, right? 물 많아요, right? All over the place, right? And it's not supposed to be there. It's not normally there. This happens in Korea every summer, doesn't it? It rains a lot. And unfortunately, in some cities and some towns and in the countryside, there's water covering the land. What do we say? We say it is a flood. It's a flood. And remember, flood can be a noun or a verb. Okay, so we've come to the end of the vocabulary section. Let's take a short break now. We'll come back and take a look at the reading passage. So come back soon. Okay, welcome back, everybody. let's go over the reading passage for this unit together. Of course, we're talking about bad weather. Let's take a look. The weather can be scary, right? I'm afraid, I'm frightened, right? I'm scared. The weather, unfortunately, can be scary. Maybe you have experienced scary weather before. Sky is dark, lightning, loud thunder, lots of rain. It can be scary, can't it? So, the weather can be scary. What kinds of weather are scary? Well, floods can destroy homes. That is scary. Imagine there's all the water on the ground and your home has lots of water in it. That's not good, right? That can be kind of scary. I hope that never happens, but in some places it does happen. Okay? Floods can destroy homes. Storms can topple trees. Remember, we learned that word topple, to fall over. A storm with the wind can push trees over. They can make trees fall down. Trees can fall down on houses or buildings or maybe people. So you have to be careful. Storms can topple trees. Lightning, right? Zzz, right? That electricity from the sky. Lightning can start fires, right? That's a lot of energy. It's a lot of electricity. If it hits a tree, the tree might start a fire, or a fire might start in the tree because of the lightning. Okay, snow can cause accidents. We talked about cause, right? Cause means to make happen. Well, think about that. If a lot of snow comes down, I talked about that, right? People can't drive their car because it's too mikroa. Mikroa, it's slippery, right? So snow can cause accidents. So be careful. Also when you're walking, right? Mikroa, right? You're going to slip in the snow. Be careful. Okay, snow can cause accidents. Bad weather can happen anywhere, right? It can happen anywhere. It can happen in Korea. It can happen in Australia. It can happen in England or America. Bad weather is everywhere. It can happen anywhere. Anywhere bad weather can happen. It can change pretty fast too. Are you scared? I don't want to scare you. I'm sorry, right? I hope you aren't scared. But are you scared? You don't need to be. 걱정하지 마세요, right? Be happy, don't worry. You don't need to be scared, right? Because it's easy to be safe. I told you already some advice for different types of weather, right? I said if there's lightning, go inside a building, right? We can try to avoid bad weather. We can get out of bad weather. So, what else can you do? You can watch the weather report. So look at the weather report on the news. You can know if bad weather is coming and you can prepare, right? 준비해요. You can prepare for bad weather. So watch the weather report. Stay inside when there is lightning. I already said that, right? It's a good idea. Stay inside. Go home. Go inside your school. Go inside a bank or a post office or in the subway. Wait until the lightning goes away, right? Wear warm clothes when it's cold. Of course, we know that. Don't go outside and play when it's cold out. You will get a cold. Achoo! Right? You don't want to get a cold. Wear warm clothes. Stay warm. Use an umbrella when it rains. So if it's raining, of course, you can use an umbrella. But be careful if there's lightning and there's no tall buildings around, right? Okay, so use an umbrella when it rains. Some storms are very windy. There's a lot of wind in some storms, right? Some storms there's no wind. It just rains a lot or it just snows straight down, right? But many times when the storm comes, the wind is very, very strong, right? Some storms are windy. This is a new word. We didn't look at this before. Hurricane. Before I taught you tornado. Tornado, like I said, is when the wind goes in a circle very fast. But tornadoes are small in area. Hurricanes are similar to tornadoes, but hurricanes are huge. They're big, very large area. The wind goes around in a huge circle, and hurricanes usually happen over water, ocean. Tornado is over land, a small storm over land. Hurricane is a huge storm, many, many kilometers wide, and it happens over water. Sometimes they come onto the land, and it can be very dangerous. Hurricanes are giant. Like I said, they're big. They're very big, windy storms. The wind blows so hard, it can pick things up, right? Just like a tornado, a hurricane can pick something up, like a cow. Isn't that crazy? Imagine a flying cow. Whoop, there goes a cow. You've never seen a cow fly, right? I hope you never see a cow fly. You shouldn't be near a hurricane. But imagine a flying cow, right? Oh, and there goes a cow, right? Okay, that's crazy. It sounds funny, doesn't it? We're making a joke. It sounds funny. Haha, we can laugh about it. But hurricanes can be very scary. They can be very dangerous, okay? So be careful. Not just cows, cars, and sometimes pieces of houses can also be picked up and blown away. If there's a hurricane coming, usually people leave the area. Again, watch the weather report. So don't be scared, just be prepared. Know how to be prepared for bad weather. That's important. Okay, hot weather can be bad too. Okay, so not a storm, just really hot weather. You also have to be careful. But again, if you prepare well, no problem. People can get sick from too much heat. In the summertime, if you're playing with your friends and there's a lot of sun and it's a hot day, be careful. Drink lots of water, right? You don't want to get sick. Drink a lot of water in the summer. If you drink a lot of water, you won't get sick. Also, if you get too hot, you should cool down. Where can you cool down? We talked about this before, right? Instead of being in the sun, you don't have to go inside a building if there's no building around, but if there's a tree, a small covering, or if you have an umbrella, you can go in the shade. Go in the shade, out of the sun. Go out of the sun in the shade. Go swimming. That's really good in the summer, right? Go swimming. Go to a swimming pool in your neighborhood. That's a great thing to do in the summertime. Stay safe, but don't forget to have fun. So we can stay safe, but we can also have fun. Even if it's hot outside, right? We can stay safe. Drink water, cool down, go in the shade, get into a swimming pool. These are things we can do to stay safe, but we can also have fun in hot weather. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's go over the reading comprehension questions. How well did you understand the story? Let's take a look. Question number 1. This story is about. So again, we see this question, what is the general topic that this story is about, right? We talked about many things a little bit here and there, but we also talked about all those little things fit into a large area. That is what the story is about. Let's look at the answers. This story is about umbrellas. Only umbrellas? We talked about umbrellas in just one sentence. It's just a little bit that we talked about umbrellas. We talked about many other things besides umbrellas. So the story isn't about umbrellas, right? That's not the main thing. This story is about the weather report on the news. We talked about the weather report, but again, that was just one sentence, not the whole story. So that's not correct, okay? This story is about wind. Did we talk about wind? Yes, we did. But we also talked about hot weather, right? We also talked a little bit about flooding, right? So we talked just a little bit about the wind. The whole story is not about the wind. What does that leave us? That leaves us with D, bad weather. Hey, bad weather, that's everything in the story, right? That's wind, high winds. That's lightning. That's hurricanes. That's hot weather. All of those things can be bad weather. So D is our correct answer. Bad weather covers everything that we talked about. So this story is about bad weather. Okay, now let's take a look at question number 2. You don't need to beep. What is beep? Well, let's take a look. We have A, B, C, and D. A, you don't need to stay inside when there is lightning. Does that sound right? Oh, remember, I've already talked about that several times. You do not need to stay inside when there's lightning. That means it's okay to stay outside. No, that's dangerous. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. Okay? What about B? You don't need to watch the weather report. No, the reading passage said if you want to be prepared for bad weather, you should watch the weather report. So that's not a good answer either. What about C? You don't need to be scared of bad weather. Let's think about that. We talked about that. There are many types of bad weather, right? There's lightning, tornadoes, hurricane. Do you need to be scared? No, the reading passage says you don't need to be scared because you can prepare for bad weather. So this is correct. You don't need to be scared. 걱정하지 마세요, right? 걱정하지 마. Be happy. What is it? 행복하세요, right? 기분이 좋아요, right? You don't need to be scared. Be happy, don't worry, right? So you don't need to be scared of bad weather. Don't worry, okay? Well, let's look at D. You don't need to stay safe? No. You always need to be safe. You do need to stay safe. Always, not just bad weather, but anything. Sports, right? Whatever you do, stay safe. But you don't need to be scared. Prepare yourself. Okay? So that's what we're talking about here. So number 2, you don't need to be scared of bad weather. Let's move on to number 3. Lightning can. What can lightning do? That's what we're looking for here. What can lightning do? Can lightning start floods? No, that sounds silly. Lightning can't start floods. Can lightning start fires? Yes, that is the answer, isn't it? In the reading passage, we read the sentence that lightning can start fires, and I explained how. I said if lightning hits a tree, that tree could start to be on fire, right? Because electricity, the lightning is electricity, a lot of electricity, a lot of energy, a lot of heat, and that heat can cause the tree to burn. It can start a fire. Many forest fires are started by lightning. Okay, let's look at C and D. Lightning can pick up cows. That's crazy. No, where hurricanes can pick up cows. That would be really, again, it's funny, but it is a little scary when you see a flying cow. But anyway, it's kind of funny. Lightning can cause hurricanes. Nope. Hurricanes are not caused by lightning. Okay, so the right answer is lightning can start fires. And that's what we saw in the reading passage. Okay, let's review here. Bad weather storm, right? Here we have this funny news weather reporter again, right? He's a very happy looking guy. Okay, so he's talking about the weather patterns for this country here. And of course we have storms, right? What else do we have? We have lightning. Lightning, of course, is a lot of electricity from the sky. What happens with lightning? Thunder. We hear thunder and we see, wow, flash of light. That's the lightning. Okay, what else? Windy. Bad weather, it can be very strong wind, and we say it's windy outside. Okay? And finally, we also have floods. If there's a lot of rain that comes down, it could flood. And many places it does flood, and that can be dangerous. Okay, well, that wraps it up for our unit here. We're talking about bad weather. We've learned a lot about bad weather. Remember, bad weather can be scary, but don't worry, be prepared. There's many things you can do in case of bad weather so that you will stay safe. And that's what you want to do. So stay safe for next time. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.